Hey everyone, Sparks back with another Daiblos Core video, and I've already done a tier list and recommendations for what to pick with your 6-star ticket, as well as just some game basics going over what the combat looks like and just a couple of the main options and how the gacha works. But this is going to be a complete guide to all of the game modes in the whole game. Now, this isn't going to be like in-depth strategy for any of these, but given that it is not in English language, I'm going to go ahead and show you what all of the different menu options are, what each game mode does, and some basics of how each of these things work. So grab a drink, chill for a second, and let's go ahead and see what some of this stuff in Chinese means if you're not someone that actually reads Chinese. As a reminder, they're a brand new Taiwanese server launched for the game. We're only in the second week, so this is still a great time to start the game. We have 2 new banner units that will be in the pool, so don't feel like you'll lose them forever, but you can pull for them right now on Rate Up. But okay, so up at the top here, you have a couple of things in the upper left that you're probably just not going to use that often. So this is the actual like settings of the game. Don't need to mess with that too much. The thing next to it here is the monthly login rewards. I just claimed that when I launched the game. Right next to it here is like the current update news. And then here we have this one alert here. This is where I can read mail and claim rewards. This is also where you'll claim anything that you've purchased if you use real world money. Next to that, up at the top, we have this little red alert symbol here right now. This is the current like battle pass or mission pass. And of course, there is both a paid and free version of it. And of course, I'm just claiming things up here. Notice that a lot of the buttons do have English text in really small fine print just below the larger Chinese print. So if you're ever unsure of what something is, look at it closely and chances are it actually has English. The only thing that really has 0 English is the storyline, of course. You can't read that. And then the actual like skill descriptions of things, you will need to translate those. I've used Google Lens on a lot of these things, but later on I will do more in-depth videos on specific things and sort of like what like skill characters skills, things like that do as well. Okay, so staying over here on the left, just next to it, we have a current event going on here where you can get some polling resources if you make a real world purchase. So first charge bonus, if you buy some of the crystals, you'll get an extra reward on top of that. And then just below it in the little blue box here on the left, you can see another kind of like starter campaign. If you are a Nikkei player, this is kind of like similar to Day by Day. So as you reach certain milestones, a lot of games have this. You know, you get certain units to certain levels. You've upgraded various things. You go through and you can say, I'm almost done with this, but you claim a bunch of resources and rewards along the way. Okay, staying up at the top, but moving over a little bit, we can see we've got the date, time, and the current battery percentage showing up there. And then over here to the right, this is your energy with this little green plus in it. Right now it says 67 out of 125. These are items that I can use to add more energy. Unfortunately, this is a game that uses energy. Not all mobile games have gotten away from that. That's one of the things I think Nikkei does really well. Great decision that they didn't have that. But I had a massive surplus of energy through like the whole first week of playing it, so it was no problem. And even now, I'm still easily able to get through all dailies and still do even more without having to really worry about filling up energy too much. So it's somewhat of a non-factor. And then this here, this kind of like blue thing right next to it is just sort of a generic currency. You might consider it sort of like gold in a lot of games. It's like the easy to acquire free currency that you just use for a lot of stuff. And then next to it here are in this yellow kind of triangle. These are your crystals. This is premium currency. So this is what you can buy with cash. You can see if you want to actually purchase those packs. Oh, it looks like I have an alert here. I can go ahead and grab my free thing for the day in the cash shop. Looks like that was a affinity booster material there. Anyway, so this is what you can use to, this is the like premium in-game currency where you can go and buy other packs. You can purchase skins, things like that. So be careful with how you spend that currency. Okay, moving back to the left-hand side here, just above my face on screen here, you can see this little white box. This is kind of similar to like the console upgrades or the recycling room in Nikke. I'm making a lot of Nikke references here because it's a very popular game that a lot of people played, and it's what I mostly cover on my channel. It's kind of my main game. So, so this will give you like permanent upgrades for either like gathering a slightly bigger percentage of resources, or increasing the attack of all your units by a small amount, and over time you'll just unlock more and more of these nodes. Next to that is your actual player information and level, and like badges you can display here, and like friendship units that you can display for people to use on missions as well. And then just next to it you see these two little arrows. This is where I can swap my home screen unit. And then below that, I'm going to go ahead and hide my face here for just a moment. You can see the current like news that's going to scroll through here. This is our current event that's happening with our brand new unit. We have a little eyeball next to it if we just want to be able to see our unit in all her glory. This is one of the best DPS units in the game, by the way. And it's her special level 40, or is it level 60? 3D skin that she gets. And then we'll go ahead and talk about a few more of these things in the lower left before I bring my face back up. So in the absolute left-hand lower corner, we can see our list of friends here, and the units that they are sharing with us. The three dots, of course, will allow me to remove a friend if I want, and then I can go to a friend's shop with the little house symbol next to them. Now, this is something a little bit different, or rather, I'm sorry, that took us to the dorm. If I go back, give me a second here, more loading screens. Okay, so going to friends, can we get to the shop from here? Maybe I can't. Okay, I'll show you how to get to, each of your friends has a shop. Anyway, here's where I can add brand new friends, and then just below that, I can see any friend requests coming in. And then down here, I would have any blacklisted or banned friends down there. Okay, so I'll go ahead and bring my face back onto screen. And now we'll move over here to the right. So here, this little image is the current event. This is a shortcut. We can get to this in other places, but we can see on the left with this book, this is all of the missions or like progress things that you need to do in order to claim the event currency to buy things in the event shop. So if we go back, just below that is the event shop. And I've already bought a lot of things here. The most valuable or rarest items are on the left, and as you scroll more to the right, you'll get to your lower rarity items, and these are the ones that I've already bought over here. There is a 5-star event exclusive unit. She's not super strong, but that's one of the things I already got. So if you're interested, pick her up. Over here on the right is the actual event itself. So this is like the normal mode. I went through all the missions, and then I am now about halfway through the hard missions. This boss is kind of difficult, so I'm stuck on it at the moment. Okay, going back to our home screen. Right next to it, we can click on this box with the 48 in it. This is showing all of your units. So they are going to be in order of rarity. And if we click on a unit, we can see what equipment she has over here in the upper right. We can see all of her skills just below that. And if I tap on a skill, I can go to upgrade it if I want to. Just below that, we have sort of passive abilities down here, which can also be upgraded. And you'll unlock more of these as you get more dupes of the unit. Just below that, we can see her affinity level. I've reached a max of 100. Then over to the left-hand side, we can see the star rarity. We can also see that she can summon a mech lord, which is something that not all units can do, but we can see that with that yellow box. And then you can see her current level over here. She's 60 out of 60. Now, if I tap on the plus sign, I need to get these farmable items to increase her level cap, and the next stage is 70. Before that, it goes in increments of 20, so 20, 40, 60, and then 70. If I wanted to just level up a unit, so we'll go to one that hasn't reached their level cap yet. If I press this, I can use these currencies down here to increase her level. Otherwise, your units will naturally acquire levels through just going through missions and normal gameplay. Okay, just below that, we can see what buffs the unit gives and what pattern they will take up with that little grid. So the units are placed on a 3x3 grid, and they will share different buffs based on whatever pattern they are taking up and which units are touching those same squares. So there's definitely some intricacies to how you arrange your units. And then below that, I'll go ahead and hide my face again really quick here. You can see the unit's actual stats down here. Okay. I will do another video that goes more in depth on actual equipment, so don't worry too much about that. You can use this yellow button down here in the lower right to just auto equip for right now. Okay, heading back to our main menu. This is where our units were. Just below that with the 1 and 2, this is where I can set up my formations. And you can see they are on this 3x3 grid, and if I move them around, you'll see the buffing squares move around with them. So each unit will have kind of a unique pattern that it lights up, and you got to figure out what's the best combination to do to get them to share their buffs. All right, let's go back. Now, to the right of that, you'll see this big yellow button over here on the far right. This is where you can go to all of your combat. And we're going to come back to that in just a second. I'm going to do that last. We're going to go down below that here. This is where we can find our daily missions, as well as just like more longer term progression monthly missions as well. But I can go ahead and claim this right now. And anytime you see one of these yellow buttons, again, it usually has English text, so just keep that in mind. Okay, just below that, we have another big yellow button. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. This is where we can get to that cash shop. I showed you that briefly before. Here's where you can buy skins, more currency for pulling, all kinds of things. I won't spend too much time actually go over the things in that. You can review that on your own. Okay, next to that yellow button, we have the gotcha. There's our current event banner showing up. The bunny girl that I showed you, which was our first banner, her rate up banner has passed. Yesterday was actually the last day, but she's in the normal pool, so don't worry, you didn't miss her. But this is our next current event banner from the Devil Rose event, and she will also go to the normal banner as well. Next to that, you have 2 standard banners that are here all of the time. And then you can see you can do a multi-pull or a single pull. And then up here at the top, we can see how much pulling currency you actually have at the moment. Okay, let's go back. And just below that, in the far lower right-hand corner, we have these 3 options down here. I'll click on the first one. It's going to load. And it'll take us to the dorm. Now, this works exactly like you think it does. I'm sure you've played many other games that have a dorm. We have our units here. Mine is pretty bare bones at the moment. I bought them a bed, a fish tank, and a big TV and everything. Oh, the flooring, new flooring too. So here we can go to the shop and actually purchase new things for the dorm to increase their affinity quicker or their mood quicker. We can also go to this little place here to look through what options I currently have to add to the dorm. And then in the far right-hand corner, we can see which units are in the dorm. They're all at maximum mood right now, so I could actually remove them. And we can see if there's any other units that's worth putting in right now. We have a couple people that are down to kind of these yellow meh faces, but no one that's in the red and grumpy yet. So I'll go ahead and just go back and we'll add some more units later on when they're grumpier. Okay, so going back to our home screen, we'll go ahead and check out the lower right, this middle option here. This is your base. Now there's a lot of things that go into your base. This is where you're going to do all of your passive farming. You can do resource exchanges here. You can also access your dorm right here. You can also upgrade equipment, like in this big middle building. There's a lot of things going on in this base. So I'll do a separate video in the future that goes over this whole base because there's just kind of a lot that goes into it. But if we go over here and tap on this thing on the far left, notice that you can upgrade each of these sort of base buildings. So far, I would say if you can upgrade it, just upgrade them. You can tap on the yellow thing and then you can upgrade it, okay? So just keep that in mind. Don't worry too much about what they do. You can probably figure it out a lot, but again, I will do a video that goes into each of these options in detail in the future. Let's go back to our home screen. We got one more thing in the lower right to do. We have the depot. So this is your items, okay? Everything that you have in your inventory. So again, I won't go over what each of these items does. It's out of the scope of this video. A lot of it is sort of self-explanatory, but you can easily kind of figure out what they do. But again, I might do a video in the future that talks about the items. Let me know if you'd be interested in me kind of reviewing what a lot of these items do. Leave me a comment below. Okay, you notice there are two tabs over here on the right. So we're currently on this one that's kind of just like a lot of our random resources and stuff. Just below that, we have another tab. These are those energy restoring items and then boxes that we can open to pick different items. These particular boxes are things for increasing the level cap of units. Also up the top, we have two other tabs. This is the material. In the far right, we can go to the chip tab, and this is your equipment. Again, I'll do a video that talks about how equipment works, but this is where we can see all of our equipment. All right, going back to the main menu. So I said that I would show you this big yellow button where all of your actual combat and missions are last. So let's go ahead and tap on that now. And you have 4 different options of like north, south, and east, west, as you can see here. So up at the top, you can see this is where we can also access our event. So just like that shortcut from the main menu, this will take us to the same place. But even if there's not an event going, you'll have this option here. So I'm going to tap on this. And these are kind of like specialized missions. To make another Nikkei parallel here, this is kind of like those lost sector missions that you can do. So I'll go ahead and jump into one really quick just so you can see what this does. And again, I'll probably do another video talking about this game mode a little bit more in detail. But I'm deploying 2 squads here, and you can see I'm actually on a map. Now, different panels will have different effects. For instance, in this blue area, this is ice, so I'll slide across it if I move on there. We can also see we have enemy units over here. And then these like red panels up here will damage me if I step on them. There will be various mechanics where like you can flip the panels to do different things. Sometimes there will be like a treasure chest where you can collect, and you're just going to take turns moving around on this map. And then you can see I just activated some panels here, and I need to take out these enemies. Now I'm not going to finish this whole mission. This would take a few minutes. It's going to take up too much time in the video. But just so you know, this is kind of the basics of how this game mode works. I'm going to step back out, and we will go back to where we were. So that was everything up here at the top. So now let's go over here to the bottom. This is where your main campaign is. Oops, my screen just fell asleep here on my PC, not what you guys are watching. Okay, so anyway, down here at the bottom, this is where all of your main campaign is going to be. So I have beaten all of the missions that are currently available here, so I can go to any place on the map. But like if I tap on one here, then I can see in this part of the world, I have these different missions that I can select from. And when you do a mission, you'll have 3 different objectives just for like how well you clear it. And of course, you'll get more rewards based on how you're actually, how well you did in it. This lower right-hand yellow button is to actually start the mission. We can see the rewards we can gain and farm from doing the mission there. We can also see enemy details right here, what we're going to face in the mission. And then this white button, you can only use if you have 3-starred the mission previously, but this is where you can do your quick battle. So I can indicate how many times I want to quick battle. This is showing how much energy it's going to take, and then I can do that, and it'll run all those missions automatically for me. Okay, going back, there's also like the hard mode missions over here. I haven't beaten all of these, but just know this is what I can do. Still, I haven't beaten all of them. Let's go ahead and go back up here to the main combat menu. On the left, this is going to be your PvP. So I'll tap the picture there, these are my opponent selections. You can see this is like plus 26, plus 22, plus 20. This is how many ranking points I'm going to gain. And you can see my rank down here at the bottom currently, and then where I am on experience to be able to like rank up again. I can go ahead and click on my opponent here. I can see who I'm facing. This person looks like they forgot to set up their formation, so we'll go ahead and just fight them right now. You can see what a PvP match looks like. Now I'm just going to auto this, but I can also manual it. So in the upper right, you can see combat speed options, pause, of course, and then the auto button in the middle. So I'll click on that, and my mech girls are going to go to work. Going to run off a few buffs here, although we really wouldn't need to. We can just nuke this enemy right away. There we go. They're down, and I've taken a PvP win. Wow, what a strong opponent. All right, and there's my ranking. You can see I gained points, and I'm closer to ranking up again. All right, so let's go back. Oh, also, keep in mind, you have an offensive and a defensive formations. Don't forget to do that. So see, this says defense and this says attack. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Make sure you set up formations for both. Okay, going back over on the right, this is the last kind of combat you can do. So on the right hand side, these are your limited count farming missions that you can do per day. So you can only do 6 of whatever mission you want to do per day. But this is where you can farm necessary items for like increasing the level cap of your units, or upgrading skills, or upgrading armor, things like that. So you can see the different kind of resources that you can farm based on whatever stage you're selecting. So up at the top here, this first one, all these missions are going to be sort of your like general resources, experience cards, skill up materials, things like that. The middle one here is going to be all of your equipment. So everything to do with earning new equipment and equipment upgrades. And then the lower one down here, these ones are sort of your more necessary things for increasing the level cap of your unit at like the higher levels. So those are, like I said, you can only do 6 of those per day, but that's where you can farm all those materials. Okay, going back to the main screen here, let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm sure you guys probably like paused the video along the way. Feel free to come back to this as a resource, and just if you forgot like where something was, hopefully I didn't go through any of that too quickly, although I think this turned into a pretty long video, so probably not. But yeah, let me know if you want any specific help on this. I'm having a lot of fun with the game so far. It's been pretty cool. The combat animations are fun. The characters have great designs. Graphics are pretty crispy. The sound design is really good. I don't know. I'm liking a lot of things about this game, but I'm still pretty new to it. Hopefully we'll get an official global launch, but if not, I think it's still very playable even just on the Taiwanese server like this. Okay, I stream the game every week now, or I'm starting to. Again, the game is brand new, but I'll catch you guys in the next video or stream.